Hello, but in another video. Finally. I'm doing it. Hang on.
Once upon a time, a beautiful princess lived in the ancient kingdom of Changra.
I did not know that. Let me out! Let me out! What is this?
Hello, I'm Rue Walters, a cave scanning specialist.
And I'm Vern Unsworth, a cave explorer with over 50 years experience, living near Tamloang Cave and a participant of the 2018 rescue operation.
Together we'll guide you through the Tamloang VR adventure, sharing facts about this remarkable place and the 2018 rescue you may remember from worldwide coverage. So where are we now, Vern?
Right at the cave entrance. The shrine here is dedicated to the mentioned princess. Visitors leave flowers, incense, ensures safe passage through the cave.
You should know that in reality the shrine is located outside the cave. It was moved here for the VR recreation, to better fit the flow of the experience.
As you walk, look for it. Yellow points marks the main route. As you walk
Here for the VR recreation, to better fit located outside the
passage through the cave.
You should know that in reality the shrine is located outside the cave. It was moved here for the VR recreation, to better fit the flow of the experience.
As you walk, look for the signs. Green marks the main route, follow them to learn the full story. Yellow points to short detours with extra cave information. Let's take the first detour to the entrance alcove. Go right and up to the top of the hill.
Here?
At one of the highest areas in Tamloang, the alcove is also one of the very few that hasn't been affected by floodwaters.
It's hard to imagine 2018 flooding reaching this far.
But it did, and sometimes still does, with water gushing over the edge and into the car parks outside. That's why tourists can't enter during the rainy season when flash floods are possible. When the Wild Boars team and their coach entered, the rainy season was still weeks away. No one expected the cave to flood within hours.
This rainy season, what specific dates are we talking about, Vern?
It usually lasts from November to April, but it's worth keeping an eye on the weather alerts. Since 2018, local authorities have worked to make sure this situation doesn't happen again, and that no one becomes trapped in the cave, cut off by rising water.
Well, that's good to know. About all the equipment here, was this in place during the rescue?
It was. The commanding general set up his base and even slept on a flat area at the top. It was a kind of forward base camp. You can still see water pumps, pipes and other rescue equipment scattered around the cave. We'll come across more of these later, as we've left them in this VR tour as reminders of the rescue.
Makes sense now.
Let's go back to the main route and we'll go through the twisting ramps.
Nah, goddamn. Oxygen tanks. Oh, there's tubes. Nah, that's sick.
Now let's rest for a while and take a look back.
It's even more impressive than from standing at the entrance.
Entrance chamber is the largest chamber in the cave.
And apart from the alcove, it's all regularly flooded?
Yes, in heavy rain, it forms a lake about 5 meters or 16 feet deep. The water rises from cracks at the back of the chamber.
Oh, I thought it's mostly rain coming in from the entrance.
Most people do, but almost all water comes from deep inside the mountain itself. And once it fills, it drains away through lower water comes from deep inside the mountain itself.
Okay,
And once it fills, it drains away through lower passages we'll be going down now.
How quickly does that happen?
A few hours can completely change the situation here. It might not feel fast, but when you're deep inside the cave, the time flows differently. The weather here changes quickly, and when it does, it doesn't give much warning.
I guess it was the case back in 2018. Is there any way to read about the events in order, chronologically?
Yes, while exploring the cave, your smartwatch will show areas with active info signals, telling you the whole story in detail. Once you reach the signal, you'll be able to read the specific 2018 day story from your tablet.
Wow, this is
A
cool,
little
guys.
known fact is that during the early stages of the rescue, some of the first extractions were carried out through passages like these.
Before everything was fully organised?
Exactly. Before the full plan was developed, British divers managed to rescue 4 workmen who had been trapped in Chamber 3. Those initial rescues were incredibly risky. There was no rehearsal, no specialised equipment designed for what they were about to do, no sedative.
So about the legend, Vern, what really happened with the princess and her lover?
When the king discovered the relationship, he was furious. To him, it was a violation of royal order.
So they ran away together?
They did. They fled into the mountains, hoping to escape and start a life somewhere hidden.
And this place, Tamlawang, is where they came?
According to legend, yes. While they were hiding, the princess became pregnant. The young man left her inside the cave, this cave, to find food and supplies. He promised he would return.
But I guess he never did.
No, he was captured by the king's soldiers and executed before he could make it back.
So she was left here?
Alone, waiting and hoping. For a long time, she believed he would come back.
And when she realised he wouldn't?
Tragically, she took her own life, overcome with grief. According to legend, her blood became the Meisai River and her body became the Doi Nang Nong mountain range because it resembles the silhouette of a sleeping pregnant princess.
So Tamlawang means?
The great cave and water source of the sleeping lady. Let's go back to the main route now.
This is so cool, guys. No way. So, Fingers touch. Wait, I just came here, guys. Oh my god. So. Wait. Oh my god, I'm getting lost. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh. Ouchies.
It feels different, a bit of a transition space.
That's a good way to describe it. During the rescue, this was initially used as the first dive base.
The operation started here?
At first, it was the logical staging point before they understood the full extent of flooding deeper in.
But it changed later, I guess.
Yes, when the large pumps were installed and water levels were reduced, the dive base moved further into Chamber 3. This area became less central over time.
You know, it's interesting how the front line kept moving deeper into the cave.
And deeper they went, the more complex everything became.
I remember from scanning the cave that it stretches over 10 kilometres or more than 6.2 miles into the mountains.
Yes, that's correct. And Rue, was the whole cave transferred into the VR version we're in now?
No, we've scanned mostly the rescue area and some parts beyond it. The cave extends much further than what we've included here, but even with the area we've captured, we decided to scale it down slightly to make it more accessible.
Sounds good. You can spend hours walking here in real life.
And even more when you're crawling through with a LiDAR scanner.
Oh, where do I go?
Feels smaller down here and a bit more enclosed.
Yes, we're now directly below the bat's alcove.
So the cave is layered in places.
Vertical complexity is a big part of this cave system.
You wouldn't realise that just walking through.
Not unless you know what to look for, but that's what the signs are for. And your humble guide here.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely...
What's up here to the left?
That leads to a room full of bats. It's really wonderful. They might move around a bit, but they won't fly into you. They're used to the space.
It's a bit unsettling.
It can be, especially if you're not expecting it.
Do they stay here all year?
Mostly, yes. Caves like this provide stable conditions, temperature, humidity, protection. It is said that Thailand is home to over 150 species of bats, making it one of the most bat-diverse countries in Southeast Asia.
Oh, really? What kind do we have here?
Can't really say. Would you like to ask them personally?
Not really. Okay, let's go back to the main route.
How does LiDAR actually work? How do you scan the cave?
Well, it's basically a way of measuring space with light. The scanner sends out thousands, sometimes millions of laser pulses every second. Each pulse hits a surface, like a cave wall, rock formation, a floor, and then bounces back to the sensor.
I see. And the scanner measures how long that takes.
Exactly. Because light travels at a known speed, the system can calculate the distance to every point it hits. Combined, these points form point cloud, thousands of tiny dots layered in space to recreate the cave's shape. So basically, the LiDAR point clouds are very accurate digital recordings of scanned places.
And what's next? Can you import this cloud data into the game engine and let the player walk through it?
No, not that simple, I'm afraid. A raw LiDAR scan is usually far too heavy for a VR game. It can contain millions of points, and VR needs to run smoothly at a high frame rate. If the experience stutters, the players can feel uncomfortable very quickly.
So the scan has to be cleaned up first.
Exactly. We need to remove noise, fill gaps, convert the point cloud into usual geometry, and reduce the detail without destroying the natural look of the cave. That's one of the biggest challenges, keeping the scan accurate while making it light enough for real-time VR.
And then there's the game part.
Yes, a real cave is fascinating, but it isn't automatically a good VR experience. We have to think about where the player should go, what they can interact with, how the lighting works, how sound behaves underground, and how to make the space feel mysterious without making it confusing.
Absolutely fascinating.
I definitely went to the wrong section. No, no. It's being dumb. Whoa. Apparently there's swimming guys in this, apparently. Like swimming in the water. I don't know. Most of this. Dude. So that's blue.
How are your legs holding up, Roo?
Still working?
We're about 2/3 of the way through the first section. If you'd like to take a break from walking and give your arms a workout, there's a small climb area here.
Thanks, I might give that a try.
A climbing
I
area.
can't stop thinking about these floods, Vern. When was the last major flood?
In 2024, the cave flooded to its highest known level.
It was higher than the rescue?
Yes, the entire cave flooded, including all of Chamber 3 where the original dive base was set up. We'll be reaching it soon.
That's just crazy. I mean, the sheer amount of water.
Nature can't be measured by human standards.
Damn, I can't. I feel like that's the calming part. This is actually so cool. Oh! That's pink! Why is it pink? I don't know why it's pink, but it's pink. No, okay.
Watch how we're walking here. It gets slippery at times. It's one of the more awkward sections to move through, especially during the rescue.
And I had to bring the boys through here?
Exactly, that was the problem. The terrain is steep, rocky and unpredictable underfoot, and they needed to get the boys to full medical facilities quickly.
So how did they manage that?
The Thai Navy SEALs came up with a clever solution. They rigged a Tyrolean rope system above all of these obstacles.
You mean a sort of rope bridge?
More or less. The boys were secured into rigid plastic sleds and then attached to the rope system. So instead of carrying them, they moved them above the ground, effectively flying them over the worst of the terrain.
Well, that must have made things much faster.
Faster and safer. It reduced the risk of slipping, dropping, or exhausting the rescuers.
It's impressive how quickly they adapted.
That was the key to the entire operation, constant problem solving. Let's go further to see the Tyrolean sledge.
Oh, that looks cool, guys. A sledge. I want to slide down that thing. Just whee! Oh, party. So this is marshy? Ah, that's the sled part.
And here it is.
It looks pretty solid. The rescue seems to have combined luck with quickly choosing the best ideas proposed by many people.
Couldn't say it better. There were many people involved in the operation, most of them working outside the cave or near the entrance.
Outside? What were they doing there?
They searched for alternative cave entrance and pumped huge amounts of water onto nearby rice fields to slow the flooding. Throughout the operation, water levels rose and fell unpredictably, making our work extremely difficult.
Do we know how many people actually took part in the rescue operation altogether?
As far as I remember, there were over 100 divers, about 2,000 soldiers, 900 police officers, as well as medical teams, engineers, pump operators, government personnel and thousands of volunteers. I saw an estimate suggesting that around 10,000 people took part in the rescue operation altogether.
And how many people were involved in the final extraction of the boys?
18 divers, 5 members of the Thai Navy SEALs and 13 international cave divers. The team was led by John Valanthan and Rick Stanton. In fact, you'll hear from John in just a moment.
Will he be joining us?
Yes, he is the narrator of the second part of the tour.
Yeah, I give up on that, but I'll just do it later. No, wait. Can I want to ride in it. Guys. Oh.
Yes, he is the narrator of the second part of the tour.
Just reverse lines, really. It's marshy.
So this is the infamous keyhole, Vern.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't look as tight as I expected.
It's not really that tight, just awkward. It's more about positioning than size.
It's still a bit of a reach though.
Especially for shorter people. But there are plenty of foot and hand holes. Just go carefully.
But I can see how it would slow things down during a rescue.
It did. Divers wearing oxygen tanks could not pass through in the usual way. They had to take off their tanks, push them ahead, turn sideways and carefully squeeze through the narrow opening. Now imagine doing that while the passage was fully underwater with fast moving muddy water and absolutely no visibility.
Okay, so it's infamous for a reason.
Okay.
It's a bit more muddy here.
Yes, the monsoon floods always bring fresh mud into the chamber. Chamber 3 became the main underground staging base, where rescuers stored air cylinders and supplies and transferred the boys from the specialist cave divers to teams carrying them towards the entrance.
So would that have been a single dive?
Actually, there were 5 separate dives between, with air spaces to where the boys were found. Chamber 4 and stations 5, 6, 7 and 8.
Was there any special use for these airspaces?
During the extraction, rescuers used these airfield sections to divide the journey into manageable stages. There they could remove and refit the boys' diving equipment, examine them, and give additional sedation before the next submerged section.
Sedation?
Yes. The passages were narrow, dark, turbulent, and nearly impossible to see through. A conscious child might panic, struggle, remove the mask, or become trapped and daydream both himself and the diver. Keeping the boy unconscious and still was considered the safest option.
How exactly was it carried out?
Each boy received anxiety medication, atropine to reduce saliva, and ketamine to induce unconsciousness while preserving spontaneous breathing. A tightly secured face mask supplied an oxygen-rich mixture. A specialist diver guided each boy face down through flooded passages, monitoring breathing through the mask bubbles. If a boy began waking, trained divers administered more ketamine in airfield sections. Their limbs were loosely secured to prevent entanglement or mask removal.
So the airspaces were essential to the operation's success.
Indeed, in reality, airspaces acted as shelters, medical checkpoints, equipment stations and transfer points throughout the rescue.
Were they large enough for somebody to stand and rest there for a while?
Not really. There wasn't much time to rest anyway. That's why in the VR version we flooded the entire section of the cave. You complete the whole dive without any interruptions.
Okay, so what then? Is there not? And is that cool? Oh, so if I came from there, that was like just where it came from? Ouch.
And this is the start of the line here.
The guideline laid by the divers ran continuously from this point all the way to where the boys were eventually found. When you're ready, grab it, activate the second map, and John will guide you from here to Pattaya Beach. Here you're on the other side.
Hi there, I'm John Valanthan. Alongside my diving partner Rick Stanton, I led the diving operation in 2018. I'll be your guide during the diving section, and the guys will get back to you once we're done. Now, Try swimming using your hands or the controller. Both options are available. VR swimming feels very different from walking, so there are underwater movement settings available on the in-game tablet. If you start feeling strange, just adjust them to your liking. All clear? Okay, let's dive deeper into the cave. The line you see here is the most important part of our journey. It was literally our lifeline. With the visibility so poor, especially on the return, we sometimes couldn't see anything. So we had to navigate by feel, holding onto the line and using our hands to sense the space in front of us. We could tell upstream and downstream, in and out of the cave, by the way the water flowed and moved the thick sediment. You'll see for yourself as we get deeper. The line was laid close to the roof in order not to miss any airspaces that could have contained the children or be used.
Oh.
Just beyond the pinch point, there's a junction in the line. The Thai Navy SEALs lost their way in the cave and explored left, reaching a dead end. It was the Belgian diver, Ben Remnants, who tied the line on with a carabiner and explored the right-hand branch, working his way upstream, finding the correct way. Let's head there now. Be used for progress. This made route finding very difficult, as it was necessary to wind around the stalactites and other obstructions in the roof. We couldn't use the larger passage close to the floor, or we might have missed something. This pinch point was the smallest gap in the route. The boys had to be carefully manoeuvred in front of each diver on their journey out, this being possibly the most dangerous point in the dive.
See the bubbles. Oh my god. Okay, on. Oh, you can't pop them. Okay. Sad.
Laying the guideline upstream to find the boys was a combined effort of a lot of people. We used thick climbing rope so that it was safe for the Thai Navy SEALs to pull on. That's something you wouldn't normally do with cave diving line. You can't move the line here, but in reality it was possible and very dangerous. Pulling it too hard could shift it out of place, which might cause the divers to lose their way. This made negotiating some of the bends difficult, causing one of the British divers carrying a child to lose the line. Adrift and in zero visibility, with no way of knowing the way out, the diver searched for the line, but it became lost amongst the stalactites on the ceiling. Eventually, he located some old electrical cable and followed this to the air surface in Chamber 4. He remained here and looked after his unconscious child until another diver was able to take over and carry child the remaining distance to dive base, Chamber 3. Everyone made it to safety, but it shows how easily a small mistake can have very serious consequences.
Got British and Belgian and Thai divers now. Oh god.
It's about 800 metres of larger diamond-shaped passage to Samyek, the major junction in the cave. There are some air spaces, and the passage is mainly diamond-shaped with large mud banks. The flow varied depending on the size of the passage, but it was always difficult to swim upstream against it. There were also few places to anchor our guideline. When diving, the height of the passage isn't normally too important. As long as you don't bump your head, there's no problem. However, in Tham Luang, lower passage usually meant higher flow, and so difficulty to progress forwards. The mud banks are deposited by the silty water at the end of each monsoon, but this happens long after the cave has formed. The passage keeps this formation all the way to Samyek. You can see how the bedding planes and ceiling cracks have influenced its formation, causing the diamond shape.
Okay, I feel that.
The divers pass through two areas, Station 5 and Station 6, where airspace allowed us to take a rest, check each buoy and replace their oxygen tank if needed. An assistance diver was placed at each station to help. They were called stations as there's no chamber here, just an airspace in which a support diver can be placed. We marked these stations with a large waterproof card showing the correct number.
Oh god. Yeah, I should probably chill down, guys. Guys, I can barely see anything. And I'm actually running around, guys. I imagine this is multiplayer, guys. This would be so fire.
How are you feeling so far? Not tired yet? Good, because now we're going to simulate how difficult it was to swim through the cave whilst carrying a heavy load, several dozen kilograms or well over 100 pounds. See the mannequin below? Pick it up and try to bring it with you all the way to the end of this part of the journey.
Yeah, guys, it's not that hard. Like I said, Oh, shit, no, child! No! No! Never mind, guys, it's pretty hard. Wait, no! Oh god, okay, grab him. Oh, then grab him. Okay, guys, this is not the best idea, guys. I have a trail on me. It's just me and my vision's just like blacking out sometimes. Oh shit. That's way too high, guys. No, wait, the child.
How are you feeling so far? Not tired yet?
No, okay.
Eventually, we reach Samyek, an important junction in the cave. To the right leads into the arduous cave known as the Monks Series. Exploration at the far end now requires an overnight camp, as it's very, very far from the cave entrance. During the rescue, we recognised this area because the water flowing out of Monks Series was much warmer than the water we've been diving in so far. It had spent much less time underground than the main stream, and so hadn't cooled as much. When it rains heavily, the interaction from clear, warm water coming in from Monk Series and the muddy water from the rest of the cave causes dramatic floods. Water rushes in from this section of the cave and fills the main passage. It was water from this branch that originally trapped the wild boars. I hope you've enjoyed our time together and that you still have your mannequin with you. Head to the end of the swimming section and visit the final part of our experience.
To the beach, I heard. Don't worry, child. I'm the hell out of here.
Hello again. Hope you've enjoyed the dive.
You have no idea, Vern. It was truly eye-opening, despite all the darkness, of course.
Ahead of us is the final part of our journey. We've removed the tourist decorations as well as the guidelines so we can experience the cave more like the boys did when they first entered it. We're starting at Pattaya Beach.
And this is where the rescuers finally expected to find the boys, right?
Yes, but the rescuers had no luck here, so they continued into the next flooded section.
But in reality, the boys were several hundred metres further into the cave.
Exactly. A few hundred metres inside the cave feels very different from the same distance on the surface.
I've already had a taste of that distance underwater.
No more water from here on, I promise. Let's walk to the place where the boys were found.
Holy fuck. That was oh my god, that section was sick, boys. That was cool. I think there might be an air bubble here. Walkie-talkie.
Hello again. Hope you've enjoyed the dive.
You have no idea, Vern. It was truly eye-opening, despite...
Okay, this is... I can't put very vigilance, but... So... Ooh, a pond. I guess it is. Just like not real water there. Yo.
This is one of the lowest sections of the cave. It's only about 40 centimetres high, though that changes after every flood. The same is true of the whole cave to some extent.
It's a bit like a living thing, huh?
You could say that. The entire structure changes over time, but you don't really need to notice those changes to feel that the whole environment is alive.
I suppose caves are always like that. Everything feels so unusual that even the smallest detail can get your imagination running.
Like the oldest trick in the cave guide's book.
Exactly. You think it's time for it?
I think so. Stay calm and take a deep breath. You can close your eyes, but you don't have to. Now, if I asked you to guide us back, would you be able to do it?
No.
Don't worry, I'm not going to. I just wanted to show you that getting lost in complete darkness with hours of blind crawling between you and the cave entrance is one of the greatest fears in caving. Fortunately, that wasn't the case for the wild boars. They had come prepared with fully charged headlamps, so although they were starving, they were not left to despair in complete darkness. Let's turn yours back on.
You got me there, Vern. I immediately found myself trying to work out the way back.
It always works, doesn't it? Now let's continue deeper into the cave.
Oh, what was that, guys? Oh god. Oh. Took like a year to produce. This is so good though. So that's what I do. Just always miss them.
Let's stay here for a while.
This chamber is much larger. Was there an air pocket here?
Yes, the divers surfaced here and immediately sensed something was different. John's line reel actually ended here. Very lucky.
What was that?
The smell. They could tell the boys were nearby simply from the smell. After 9 days, I doubt anyone would have been at their best.
Did the boys notice them as well?
Yes, they climbed down to investigate the sounds of the divers.
So it was ears on one side and noses on the other.
It seems they too can be remarkably helpful when exploring caves.
But I guess finding the boys was only just the beginning, wasn't it?
Yes, John, Rick and other rescuers, including Dr. Harris, who sedated the boys, had to prepare each person for the journey out. All 13 would be transferred one by one, retracing the same route we've just come through.
And somehow this incredible plan had worked, without a single casualty.
As we mentioned earlier, the rescue succeeded through a combination of luck, ingenuity and the extraordinary professionalism of the entire team. However, while all 13 members of the Wild Boars team survived, the operation itself was not without loss.
You mean the SEALs?
Yes, Saman Kunan, a former Thai Navy SEAL, died on 6th of July 2018 after losing consciousness while returning.
Oh.
Is it? Yeah, it is.
The final destination of our journey, place where all the boys have been found. All 12 boys and their coach were found on a slope leading up to a chamber that became known as Wild Boar Haven.
This must have been the only place they could have sat out the flood.
Indeed it is. There is no other known part of the cave that is high enough.
Incredible. What was their condition after, 9 days without food?
When the doctors examined them, they found the boys had lost about 2 kilograms or over 4 pounds each. They were hungry and weak, but still able to walk, talk, and deep within the mountain where darkness, water and stone converge, this cave holds more than geological history. It holds a story of human endurance, cooperation and resilience. From legend to reality, Tham Luang is a place where past and present meet, where tragedy, hope and determination are etched into every passage. For those who walk these paths today, it's not just a cave, it's a reminder of what can be achieved against overwhelming odds.
Thank you for being part of this journey with us, and if you like it, feel free to tell all your friends about it.
So I'm gonna finish.
And eat. 3 of them had mild lung infections and were treated with medication. The medical team ran blood tests, chest x-rays and heart and lung checks while keeping them briefly quarantined as a precaution. Despite everything they had endured, officials said they showed no signs of severe psychological distress.
And what about the meditation their coach encouraged? Is that part of the story true?
The coach did not put the boys into some kind of medical trance. What he did was much simpler. Because he once lived as a Buddhist novice, he encouraged them to pray, meditate, breathe calmly and stay focused. Later, the boys said they kept up their spirits by meditating, repeating, "Su Su, keep fighting," and trying not to panic.
And I guess it worked.
It worked. Let's climb up the Avon to see one more thing here. Learning from placing air signalers along the route. And Beirut Pakbara, an active Thai Navy SEAL, died in December 2019 from a blood infection that the Royal Thai Navy said he contracted during the rescue.
No way, guys. Already done. It's actually very fun playing this.
Here we are at the tunnel the boys made. They took turns scraping at a rock wall with stones trying to dig their way out. One of them, Channing, managed to carve a few metres into the wall.
Interesting. Was it organised or just panic?
Organised, they set up digging shifts. It gave them something to do, a sense of control since there was no other way out.
It must have drained their strength though, right? Did the coach just let them keep digging?
Not for long. After about 5 days, he noticed they were getting weak and told them to save their energy instead. They even talked about pushing deeper into the cave system to look for another exit.
Was it discovered the same time the boys were rescued?
No, sometime after the rescue, I came back to find a hand-dug tunnel about 6 metres deep near the top of the chamber. Next to it was a small altar the boys built and a 20-baht note left as an offering. That note is now in the Rescue Museum in Mae Sai.
Oh, I see. But could the digging have actually worked?
Not really. The cave lies beneath solid limestone, so there was no way they could dig through without proper tools. Still, their attempt shows how strong and high-spirited they remained despite the dire conditions they were facing.
Truly impressive knowing their young age. I recall the youngest was only 11 years old.
That's correct, and the oldest has just turned 17. They entered the cave to celebrate his birthday.
A birthday to remember.
You could say that after the successful rescue, they all have been rebirthed in a way.
Definitely. Is that the last place to see here?
The last one related directly to the rescue, but there's one more thing to find deeper in the cave.
What is it?
Let's find out, shall we?
Guys, it's basically finished. I don't know the right weather.
Here we are at the...
Just the rain.
Deep within the mountain where darkness, water and stone converge, this cave holds more than geological history. It holds a story of human endurance, cooperation and resilience. From legend to reality, Tham Luang is a place where past and present meet, where tragedy, hope and determination are etched into every passage. For those who walk these paths today, it's not just a cave, it's a reminder of what can be achieved against overwhelming odds.
Thank you for being part of this journey with us, and if you like it, feel free to tell all your friends about it.
I'm just done. That's it, guys. That was like the making of.
Bern Unsworth, a British caver of over 50 years. I live here in Mae Sai, Chiang Rai, northern Thailand, and I was deeply involved in the Tam Luang cave rescue back in 2018. I hope you enjoy the journey.
Hello, my name is Rue Walters. I'm a specialist in the 3D visualization of caves around the world, including the Tam Luang cave in northern Thailand.
My name is Piotr and I'm the CEO of FreeR Games and the game director of Cave Grave. As you can see, there's a complete Tam Luang annotation map behind me, as we recreate in the cave for virtual reality the same way and with the same level of accuracy we've already done with Nati Pati.
My name's John Volanthen. I was one of the lead divers in the rescue of the wild boars in the Tam Luang cave in 2018. Alongside my dive partner, Rick Stanton, I found the boys and we subsequently led the rescue, bringing them all safely to the surface. I've been working with the team at 3R Games and using real data that was taken from the cave, we've been able to produce a simulation that is amazingly lifelike. You'll get a sense of the cave, the size and scale of it, but also you'll be able to dive through a section exactly as Rick and I did when we went to find the children. You'll follow a line through silty water and get a sense of just how difficult it is to actually navigate in this environment. I think this is as close to cave diving as you can get without actually getting wet. I hope you enjoy your journey through the Tam Luang cave. Remember, don't lose the line.
That's it, guys.